Welcome, Sojourner. You have found yourself a cozy place here at Sojourners Awake. I'm Jonathan, and this is our production of The Fairy and the Free. Long ago we started with Tryina leaving her redwood tree in which she was imprisoned as a dryad by the Queen of Air and Darkness. After some risky negotiation, she agreed to follow the bookends in Baldtop Library. But since that time, she's made two friends, Samoon and Genasi, from a far-off land, and Bertie Cartwright, a lovable henfolk woman working in the Baldtop Brew. Together they solve the mysteries of the murderers, placing them on the cult of the Dead Three. And now they have a mission by none other than the god of poetry and music, Millil, who wants them to go to Skyworld and find a green swan, the pet of his friend, the Prince of Autumn, from Dreamland. All of this is connecting together. And what adventures will await Tryina, Samoon, and Bertie as they leave the safety of Baldtop Library? And so for now, our story continues.
The winter winds bit down hard upon the Mavi Ocean. Just in the last week, the Sojourners recovered and now sat once a while in their dorms. With the last penny paid to cover the cost of their pilgrimage, the words of Millil, god of poetry, still hung strong like a song thickly running through their minds. Should they go to Skyworld? Should they leave the realm of Bonsaro and brave the primordial wilderness of air? Millil, god of poetry, requested, on behalf of his friend, the Prince of Autumn, to go and find and return the green swan, Frisia, his pet of joy and freedom. Apparently, the prince had become too inebriated at a party, passed out, and awoke in the windways outside the city, naked and robbed, and without his pet. He said he parted with it at a grand party in the waking hall of House Feathermore in the city of Numeness within Skyworld. Skyworld, a primordial world of chaos and air, once served as a creative outlet to build Bonsarel, now existing as a wild land, a haven for wandering beings. With few ways left to travel there, but Millil insisted his friend, not his pet, Patrick, could help with the mission of travel. And so for now, our story continues. And within each of your rooms, as you prepare for your last day here in Baldtop, within the Hearth Inn, how do you prepare?
So, sitting in the room, he's just thinking back over the past few days of all that's transpired. He's enjoying his sign language book very much, and I think he wants to try and leave a short poem to whoever gets his room next, having no idea what he's doing. He just writes down some words like, "To the next, may your adventures be fond and far, and be in the moment." And he just puts a big S on it and kind of just lays it on his bed, which is made but not made. You know how you stay in a hotel and you don't actually make it the way that the hotel is, you just kind of put the sheets back over. So he just lays on his bed, and he's just grabs his swords and puts them on his side, getting all of his gear on that he's been without while walking around honoring the code of Bald Top, and yeah, I think he's just reading this book and trying to suck it all in as much as he can before dusting off.
You may make your investigation check.
So that is an 8. You said intelligence?
Investigation.
Or investigation? Yeah, straight 8 again.
That
Much like last time.
is exactly what you got last time. So Samoon, I would like you to take the wheel. What seems to be the problem?
Samoon has been trained to read, but grasping code is something that's it's different. It's sign language. So it's like opening up how to sign and looking at the pictures, and you can try and put your hands where the pictures are, but without somebody actually tutoring you. It's just, you don't know if it's actually working or not. So he's lacking a tutor.
While you're straining to comprehend the code, you feel a tingle on the back of your neck. If you could make a wisdom saving throw for me.
15 plus 1, 16.
Stinging persists down your spine. It's very similar to when that hawk spied on you ever so recently. And then it disappears and goes away. Your cloak leans its cape towards you in affection. And on the back of the cloak, you see an insignia, RWO. The cape just gently curls around your shoulders and fastens the clasp by itself, hugging you on all sides. And it provides a lot of warmth that you've been craving over the last couple days. The cape squeezes your shoulders as if to say, it's time to go.
Upon that tug, oh, I must be going to meet my friends. I do not want to miss out on this new adventure. So I'm going to just close the books, put them in my bag, exit the room.
Ever so optimistically, the door shuts behind you for the last time, with your note resting gently on the pillow. As you shut the door, a wind catches the note. It floats off the pillow, down beyond the bed, and lands on the floor. Tryina, how do you appear?
Tryina is standing in front of her bed, and she has all of her equipment laid out, and she kind of looks over a pair of daggers that look nothing alike because they came from different travelers, and a rapier that is even older. She actually had to get some of the rust off of it because she'd had it stashed so long in her tree. She's put on the leather armor that she took from another traveler once they were no longer in need of it. It fits her pretty well, but she's made some adjustments, and she's been holding a quill and parchment in her hand, and she's trying to decide if she should leave a note, or if that would be insulting or not. Then that implies that her master couldn't find her. And if she doesn't leave the note, then that implies that she didn't want to be found. And so she is stuck in this game of politics trying to decide what to do, because she was ordered to stay at the Bald Top Library, and now she is leaving.
Tryina, while you're caught in this deliberation, your body senses a holy presence. You see on the desk nearby an abandoned journal. The pages begin to flip open, as if by themselves, to an empty page. How do you proceed?
Turn my head to the side and walk over and go investigate, trying to remember if this was mine, if I left it here, if I stole it from someone.
No, it was left here from the previous tenant. Not yours, though now that you begin to search your memory, it has been here as long as you have. When you drop your eyes on the page, a magical script begins to appear and looks very much like a melody to a song.
I'd like to pull my lyre out and start to pluck the notes.
A beautiful song begins to play. It is something unlike you have ever heard, a scale of renown. You begin to go up and down the strings, tugging at the lyre and making music in ways that you never have thought possible. And as you play this, you get the impression that this would be a great song to rest to. You begin to feel life coming back into your body, and a small water droplet from your face splashes on your lyre, and you gain back 4 hit points.
Playing the song and that water splashes, I just stop and oh, that's very nice. It's gonna be okay. And I look out the window towards where I left Aramente behind, and I turn around, gather all my belongings, and go to meet the others.
Mechanically, this is Song of Rest. You can use it 1 time per day.
Awesome.
In hope, the door shuts behind you, ready for another pilgrim here at Bald Top Library. Bertie, within your apartment, how do you appear?
In my apartment.
Bertie, yes, within your small apartment, very small apartment, adjacent to the kitchen, there also now lives a young woman who took your place at Bald Top. And under the new management, she chats away early in the day before leaving for work. She has kept you up all night with her friends coming in and out. Anyway, there was the one person I heard that got stabbed, and they said something about garlic is just unable to be washed out of the tile and floor. And well, people have been really worried about coming here and performing the poetry, but that didn't really stop the pilgrims.
Oh my gosh! Can you stop? Just stop talking.
New pilgrims came by, and they always knew to come by.
You need to just go to work. I think you're.
I don't go to work. No, don't go to work for another 15 minutes. Anyway, so what about you? How are you doing?
I'm fine. I think that you talk a lot, and I don't want to be here anymore.
That's what my dad said.
I'm gonna go ahead and go. And
please don't go. I was just getting started. We have 15 more minutes before my shift starts.
Bertie ignores her and is going to go to the corner of the room, kind of right by where her bed is at, really low to the floor. There is a combination locker, and she's trying to remember the combination of the lock.
I hope I didn't keep you up all night. Yeah, for what?
9.
What are you doing?
She fumbles a little bit with it. She tries like 3 times, and she finally gets it out.
Ooh, what is that? Very interesting. Oh, are you like a secret spy?
Yeah. And then she pulls out a helmet and puts it on her head. The helmet is, I would say it's got metal parts around her ear, has some sort of like almost like a robotic looking part kind of on top, and then these sort of goggles that come down and flip up, and so it's kind of like a bowl looking thing that comes over her ears.
What are you going to do with that? Where did you get that? What is the story? How did you come by it?
I kind of just use it to block out people that I find annoying.
That must be so fantastic. I wish I could do that. There are plenty of people that annoy me, especially the new chef.
And then she reaches into the locker and pulls out her bracers, and she puts them on her wrist. They're sort of lightweight bracers, look metallic in nature, but very sort of thin, almost. It's difficult to determine what sort of metal they really are. And she puts them on her, and she kind of like does this sort of fist. She like balls up her fists, and like she's gonna punch, and then she looks right at the lady who's talking too much.
Oh, you must be like a fighter, like a gladiator, because you're gonna perform in the ring. Ooh, would you go to Boshin? Boshin is having lots of hit
sort
fights.
of like spark as she's sort of, and she kind of looks at her almost like, do you want to punch?
Her
gonna
hair,
punch you.
her hair starts to stand up and frizz a little bit because she receives some of that electrical charge. Oh, like, do you think a storm is coming? How does a storm come at this time of winter? That seems like the fall. The thunderstorms are coming up. My hair always does that when the storms start to build up. Did you hear thunder just now? I can't believe I heard thunder. What are the seasons going to do?
Okay, hey, I'm done talking to you, and she just walks out.
Well, and she just continues talking on, and annoyed and exhausted, the door closes behind you. Bertie, she talked all night long, interrupting your sleep. If you would please make a Constitution saving throw. The difficulty will be an 11.
17.
All right, you succeed. You somehow were able to get enough sleep, just enough to avoid exhaustion. As your furry little feet are padding on towards the court of air, you see Samoon and Tryina have already gathered there, as you are a little bit late. And in the presence of everyone, as you are all gathered around, Gon's festival of clockwork demonstration has begun. And everyone is simply loitering and waiting. Bertie, how do you approach?
Hey guys! Hello?
Oh, hi, Bertie. Good morning.
Hey, look, I have my helmet. I didn't tell you guys I have a helmet, but I got this from other adventures. But I'm gonna use it with you guys.
That helmet is so cool. That is the coolest helmet I have seen. What is the thing on the top there?
It's sort of a magic helmet, and it does things. I'll use it eventually. And then she puts down her goggles, and then she reads Samoon's thoughts.
That is super cool. And Samoon's thoughts are simply, I want to find a helmet like that so I can be cool like Bertie. Because that is the coolest helmet I have seen.
She puts the little goggles back up, and she's like, Samoon, I think this is just one of a kind. Maybe we can find it. Maybe Skyworld has something.
Well, anything that looks that cool, I think would be good for me.
And mechanically, normally, if someone is resisting, the save would be a DC 13 wisdom save. The Horologist Club announces their invention out loud, and they have a single mechanic walking up proudly with a wrench. He begins to tighten a cog, and at that last moment, a large spring hurls through the crowd. This clockwork invention springs to life and begins to spin out of control, throwing springs everywhere. And you see the wardens, who are dressed up in purple, arrive. They stand and protect the nearby pilgrims with these spectral shields that go up instantly. During this chaos and pandemonium, how do you respond to the situation?
The whole time Samoon and Bertie were talking, I, smiled politely, but I've been kind of fidgeting and just like, ready to go, and I just want to get out of here. And then once the chaos starts up, just gonna kind of stagger around like, oh my gosh, this is the most dangerous library I have ever been in. Why does everything blow up or explode or try to eat you? This place is horrible. Why do people want to come here so bad?
Clocksmith runs by and pushes you aside and says, "Step aside, ma'am." And he holds up a wrench towards this clock that's starting to walk towards him. So he kind of got a mind of his own. And he, stay back. Disable it, please. And the small halfling rushes up and begins to tighten up this cog on this clockwork mechanism. It powers down. After a breathless battle, the clocksmiths stand over their failed experimentation with wrenches and drivers in hand. A young pilgrim woman got injured by that spring, and she's holding her eye. Oh, I can't see. You see Eldon once again summoned. He waves at you, shakes his head. Another day at Baldtop Library.
Another day indeed, Eldon. It seems that you keep busy quite a lot around here.
Yeah, there are a lot of accidents. We don't normally get powerful beings visiting all the time. Brr! I'm a little chilly still. Actually, comparatively, it's a little bit of a warm day, considering what I've been through. but I hear you're all leaving.
Oh yes, we are going on an adventure that will take us to a land far away from here. But perhaps we will be back and we can see you again.
Yeah, I hope so. That'd be nice.
Well, perhaps with us being away, you won't get as cold again.
Don't think so.
I don't know why that would be. It has nothing to do with us and was completely unrelated. We just happened to be there
right.
too.
Yeah, I figured as much. Well, anyway. Hey, Tryina, your face looks good. I'm sorry. I mean, your face always looked great. Beautiful. But yeah, what I mean, as a physician, you look improved, is what I meant to say.
Oh, honey, you are terrible at this.
Well,
do you talk
hold
to
hands.
girls much?
No, I'm not talking. I'm talking to a patient.
Oh, actually, I'm feeling a little impatient right now.
Tryina, I don't think that you should be flirting. I think that you should focus on your relationship with Samoon. That's just my opinion.
Wait, what are you talking about here? The only relationship that we have is the same that you and I have, in that we are friends going on an adventure together. I do not.
You don't need to be shy. And she's gonna lean over and kiss you on the cheek, Samoon.
Samoon, I just don't like you like that. I'm sorry. I mean, I hate to turn you down, but you're not really my type.
Okay, then I'll just accept my fate.
Don't worry.
There is no other relationships happening outside of us being friends.
I have heard that it's not wise to have any relationships with adventurers that you're with. It's like relationships with people you work with. They never work out.
Relationships
never
just
work
don't
out.
work out.
Well, that's true. It can be very difficult, especially in an ambitious place like this. Everyone's so focused on their work and working 16, 18-hour days. Sometimes there's actually a couple of new potions out there that you can stay awake for more than 24, 48 hours and just get all kinds of work done. I don't know what the side effects are going to be, but I guess we'll find out in a year. Isn't that right?
That doesn't sound good.
Especially if you think it's upsetting the general balance of health and everything. But
Are they gonna force you to take it?
no, not at all. No. It's just it's available right now.
Oh,
but
so you're not studying it for science. You're just gonna reap the benefit of knowledge later.
Well, believe me, I would never take something that would keep me awake for 48 hours. I like sleep.
Well, I think that is a wise decision. You are such a smart man. She gives him a smile while still
I
hanging
am.
off of Samoon.
But in all seriousness, your face does look better. I'm happy. Whatever happens, it seems like it's working.
She finally kind of figured out what you are referring to and like puts a hand over her cheek. She's like, everything's fine. She said, well, we're very glad that you're doing better, and I hope that you get warm soon.
He waves you goodbye, and you hear a song playing. If you want to go over yon through the clouds, there you'll find my heart floating in. And the music just suddenly stops. If you want to go over yonder through the clouds, there you'll find my heart floating in. Bow. Music begins to play, and you see he picks up a flute. There's this humble minstrel standing over there. When he sees that you notice him, to what do you pay attention to?
I think that his song sounds coincidentally a lot like what we're expecting. So I'm actually looking to see if he has cat ears or a cat tail.
You do not see any of that. He appears as a humble, very weather-worn man. The long beard, very thin and raily. Samoon?
The lack of a continuance in his stanza. I wonder what the next part of the song is. What about his heart?
Bertie?
Bertie's singing along.
Well, when he sees that, he kind of motions you over and said, he comes over to you, Bertie, and he's got the flute. He hands the flute to you, Samoon. He hands a lyre to you, Tryina, and then he has a little drum, and he says, "What is it? What is it? If you want to go over yon through the clouds, you'll find my heart floating in
the sky."
the sky." All
No, that
right.
doesn't rhyme. That's a
Oh, I'm sorry.
terrible
I didn't
line.
know that it had to rhyme. He just wanted a word. If it's floating, then it's in the sky, right?
And that's right. And you hear the familiar voice of Millel. He says, "Forgive my appearance, but I'm off the clock right now. Didn't want to gather too much attention, and I didn't want to draw too much attention away from these clock nerds that are trying to kill everybody with metal and gears. Poetry and words have always been my cup of tea. Hey, listen." He hands you each a small book. Says, "You'll find a copy of my latest songs in each of these books, and as well as 50 gold each. It's all paper money. Hope that's okay."
Say paper money, and Tryina just goes, "Ugh." Thank
I
you
am not
for your
used to this.
generosity, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, it will fly away, so don't let it, make sure to tuck it in nice and tight and everything. But it's very lightweight. It won't weigh you down or anything, but currency will carry over in Skyworld once you get there. Catrick is waiting for you, but he is beyond those black cliff sides in his lair. So he understands. He's waiting on you. He said, "No rush. Just tell him to come on up, and when you get there, you can make your journey." Sorry, I can't do anything about the weather. I know it's pretty cold, and there's probably a storm coming up here, is what I heard.
Well, that's quite all right.
Y'all still up for this?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We definitely want to do this. Anything to help your friend.
Oh yes, I am ready to go. I look forward to this new adventure.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. It is very few people I can find nowadays that'll stick to their word. So,
I'm sorry. This might be a really, really rude question, but it's really bothering me.
yeah.
Did you really not know what line you wanted to put in your song, or were you just testing us?
Testing is a strong word. Maybe attracting might be a better word.
Okay, so
You
you
see-
didn't know the song, how it was going to end.
Oh, no, I do not know how it's going to end. I have some ideas, but part of the creative process and what I have missed with the Prince of Autumn is that collaboration. It's different to get inside someone else's mind and have them paint the canvas for you.
But wait, if you're the god of poetry and music, then aren't they all collaborating with you? Like,
Oh, yes, absolutely.
didn't you
But
inspire Samoon to say the sky?
exactly. Well, you're not far off. You're very perceptive. Yeah. Philosophers have dug their heels in, head over sideways, trying to figure all that stuff out. You're a smart cookie.
She beams when you say that. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, well, it's being a god is a heavy burden. It's like taking care of a garden day after day, and the whole world is dependent on whatever you produce. If I quit my job and took a vacation, or it affects people. Some wouldn't say it, but music and poetry kind of makes the world go round, in my opinion. Or at least that's what I think.
You wouldn't actually do that, would you? Take a day off or a vacation?
Well, I am taking today off, so
Wait.
I would highly advise you not to get inspired today. That's probably why I couldn't come up with the words. But it's just today. I needed 1 day of break. That's all.
But you're right, the music is so important.
It is. It is.
What do we do?
Say, there are a couple options out there, demigods and whatnot, but stuff kind of flows on itself. It's the same thing like with a garden. Like, just because it didn't work in it today, it doesn't mean you can't reap the benefits and fruits of something I did
So you
yesterday.
haven't canceled all the music today.
No, not at all. I'm just saying nothing new is probably going to happen. It's a bad day to write a song.
This
Like,
way.
Well, I am glad to hear that the music is not canceled today, because honestly, I think Bertie can use a song to maybe find somebody that she's interested in.
No, I thought we were going to
yeah,
I thought that she liked irony.
Well, I just had the idea you said that I am not your type, and I must agree, but perhaps you can have a song like the other Hinfolk man. You were allured to his song, so maybe Milel can make you a song, and you can sing it to another person, and you'll have somebody to like too.
I mean, I've had enough. I mean, at first, Irony gets a crush on me, and then and then there was that Henfolk man who seemed to write a song to me since I was the only other Henfolk in the room. So I think I need a break from it. I'm just taking a break for myself. I'm taking me time.
Oh, I understand. Okay.
That is very wise. Also, Milil's off today, so we can't get anything from him.
Yeah, he just laughs. He says, I can't believe I'm asked this. So, you guys are cool. I'm not going to lie. Like, y'all are pretty cool. I mean, you got your jokes and everything, and I think you played a song. Isn't that right, Tryina? She nods, super excited that you noticed. Yeah, and Bertie, I don't know what incarnation you do, but
you can hit things really, really hard.
Obviously, the men seem to like me.
You got some favor on you, that's for sure. But speaking of favor, I mean, do any of y'all have a subscription or sponsorship by a god, or anybody y'all follow or attend to? I mean, you don't have to talk about it. I mean, I get it if it's a private, matter and everything, but I mean, I don't know. I'm just wondering. Well, it's like so freezing cold outside right now, and you suddenly become aware that the wind begins to pick up. The snow is still heavy on the ground. You're starting to feel the shiver in your bones. So each of you make a Constitution saving throw if this is not natural weather.
6 for Tryina.
Okay, yeah, Tryina, you're starting to feel it.
A 20.
Okay, Samoon. That coat is closing in tightly around you, providing a little insulation. Bertie?
12.
12? Oh, you're doing okay. I think that you probably are doing poorly, but you just can't notice it. Tryina?
So I think when he asked about the gods and that wind picks up, Tryina suddenly feels the chill all the way through her, and even that spot that Eldon said was starting to get better stings more. And she huddles up, and she actually huddles into Samoon and just says, "Oh, I'm very loyal, and I am a good servant, and I think it's time to go."
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Y'all probably are freezing out here and everything. He looks down. He's wearing like a tank top. Tanned skin. He said, I probably is sticking out like a sore thumb. I mean, I haven't figured it out yet and everything. When in bald top, do as bald top does. So I'm sorry. Well, we'll catch up. I got time, right? I mean, let's face it. I just hope y'all have time as well. I mean, I don't know. Things happen. You get to know them. I've said too much. Anyway, there's a couple of my songs in there about mortals I've gotten to know that, things change, man.
But our memories can live on through you.
Well said, my friend. I'm gonna head into Bald Top and act like a mortal, get some tea or hot beer is what they said. The crazy stuff nowadays these kids are drinking.
I do not recommend it, but have at thee.
It's a Bertie special.
Well, I'll give it a swing then, Bertie. Appreciate you. All right, I'm out. I'll see y'all.
Okay, bye.
He throws you a sign, Samoon. You seem to recognize it.
I know what that means. Hold on. And I'm just gonna go back to my book and just scour the pages.
The clocksmiths are still cleaning up the clockwork and mechanisms. Eldon has disappeared, and nothing but the corkscrew highway laying before you with the black cliffs of the Mavi Ocean to your left. As you walk along this road, how do you proceed?
So I'm cold and miserable. I'm trailing behind a little bit as I try to. What I have for a cloak is not meant to be a heavy winter cloak. because the cold touches me now differently than it touched me when I was tree-skinned. So it's this nice, pretty kind of velveteen cloak that does nothing to protect me. And I'm not paying attention to anything but following the footsteps.
Well, in that case, Bertie and Samoon, as you leave, you see 3 figures somberly walking towards Boshan. A heavy man with frost collecting on his beard, donned with the raiment of nature, and next to him a fit young man carrying with him a great burden upon his shoulders, his eyes ever set forward. They are trailed by a young gnome whose head is buried deep into a book, and but he fails to stumble upon rock and twig, for a metal lion guides his along the corkscrew way. And yet your path diverges to the left towards the black cliffs of the Mavi Ocean. Bertie and Samoon, as you catch these indigo-clad figures heading north, to what do you pay attention to, and how do you respond?
Do they have any weapons?
Oh, yes, the fit young man, he appears as a bookend. He is well stocked with weapons. Looks like the heavier set man is carrying a staff. The gnome has a crossbow slung across his back.
No, I wouldn't recognize them. Are they people that frequent the...
You probably have recognized them as the Secret Service agents, the Bookends.
Oh. Would one of them be like one of the people's room that we trashed?
Yes, it would be.
Already saying that I'm not paying attention to anything.
Well, you have 2 allies with you who know what you want.
I mean, it's fine. I'm curious to see what they do.
We're walking towards them, or you said like our paths are like separating?
Yeah, their silhouettes are burying deep in the sunset.
Oh, they're walking away from
Yeah,
us.
they're pretty far. You just notice them. It's very difficult
Gotcha.
to miss.
Gotcha.
Your path definitely is diverging more towards the west now. Towards the Black Cliffs, towards Catric's lair.
Oh, Bertie, look at those people up there. They must be adventurers too, like us. They must be going on a great adventure themselves.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of weapons.
Yeah, definitely more than I have. I just have my swords and a bow.
I think sometimes they used to come into the Balltop Brewery restaurant, and I would give them warm beer too.
Oh,
Yeah.
One of them might have been the owner of the room we accidentally trashed, but he's too far away.
I start
Well-
looking around and I look up and see them and I'm just like, we need to go faster. Let's go this way and be really quiet. How far away are they?
They're a good league ahead of
Okay.
you. Yeah. Go ahead,
Still don't want
Samoon.
them to see us.
but we are not going that direction. Their adventure is taking them that way. We have to go meet the cat this way.
Yeah, I know. Let's go there faster because if we can see them, then they can see us.
But they are walking away, so we have to like make noise and yell at them.
So let's not do that. Let's just walk away too. Please?
So you don't want to meet them?
No.
Then why are we arguing? Yes, let's just continue. That's fine. We are just talking about their looks. They look like noble adventurers going on a big journey.
One of them, honestly, here's an honest question, okay? One of them looks a little, fluffy like me, and they're a bookend. Maybe I can be a bookend. I always thought that maybe I was a little overweight to be a bookend, but maybe this could be, if I do well here, then maybe I could be a bookend over there. If this guy can, I mean...
Bertie, I'm so excited that you are finding your calling. I think you would make a very good bookend, especially with your helmet. Oh, I can see it now. You walk into that emerald place, and we see a giant statue of Bertie. It will be the biggest you have ever been.
That
And
would be
Talking
amazing.
about weight at that point.
Yeah, Bertie, anything that you put your mind to, you can accomplish. If you want to be a bookend, we'll help you do it.
She kind of puffs her
Just
chest
like if you want to be a god, you can do it too. You just have to find immortality and come up with something that no one else is already doing and then take claim on it. That's what I learned from Hillel. That's what he said.
That's right. So Samoon is gonna become a god one day, and Bertie's
And
gonna
I
become
already
a
have
bookend.
one follower. Right, Tryina?
Absolutely.
See, already off to the right start, so Bertie, you can totally do it.
Bertie, you are perceptive enough to notice that Tryina did not mention to Millil that she followed Samoon.
Well, I think Mililla was looking for us to follow him. You know, he was thinking, we could like, I don't know, what's the word? Worship, like where you um sing songs about them and read books and stuff and pray. I don't know. Is that how you worship?
Wait, that is quite involved. I don't want people doing that to me, but I don't mind company of people coming along a journey with me.
I think that it depends on the deity. Some of them are real stuffy and like to be worshipped like that, and some of them just want you to do your own thing in their name. And some of them want you to just, stab and kill people. So it depends. I bet Millel would be worshipped if we sang lots of songs.
Each of you roll a religion check.
21. Natural 20.
Bertie.
I have 21, but it's not natural 20. It's a 19 plus 2.
Ooh, that's pretty good, though. I'll give it to you both. It can be a team effort. In your own words, you are comfortable saying, you can say or not, but in your own knowledge, this is what you know. The gods of power manage the events of the universe. The gods of love manage the creation. And the gods of knowledge, like Millil, manage the knowledge of the universe. So not each of the gods is necessarily all-powerful or strong in all aspects, but they manage each individual domain. There are some gods who demand certain acts be performed in their name, which these acts themselves give power to their creative and destructive processes, as well as their extents of management and domain. As your boots are crunching through the snow, you park a little bit for a small rest near some rock outcroppings right before the big climb. With these thoughts circling in your head and with Samoon, many questions about the gods still linger in your mind. How do you interact?
Well, Samoon, if you want to be a god, what kind of god do you want to be? That's really what you got to start out with first. Do you want to be one of the gods of power who runs everything? Or do you want to be a god of knowledge like Millil, who just knows a lot of things and makes sure other people knows a lot of things? Or do you want to be a god of love? And
Well,
things.
definitely not going to choose that option, thank you. You have clearly turned me away from that one.
What? Why would you say such a hurtful thing?
Well,
I thought we had a good thing to go on here.
do not play this on me. I've seen what
I don't know what you're talking
what
about.
happens when you kiss people. And I do not want that on me.
It doesn't happen like that anymore.
The fact that it happened to begin with is problem to me.
No, look, I can show you. We can kiss all you
No.
want.
By the
Hey,
way,
I don't know if you should kiss her. I don't know if you should. Maybe. Well, let's see. Why don't you try? No, that's weird. That's way awkward. I don't think that's a good idea because I'm sitting right here.
Well, clearly, Bertie, it would be wrong for me to do so anyway because we went to the boyfriend room.
Oh, that's true.
Remember? I do not. If that was the guy who is walking away with all the warrior look, I do not want to mess with him.
I mean,
So
she's
He's not my boyfriend.
Wait, you have a baby?
Well, yeah, she's kind of grown up now. She's not quite a baby anymore. Love is so free in the dreamland.
So, She mentioned Dreamland. Dreamland, the land of fairies, the land beyond time and space, the land of perpetual imagination, the land where gnomes and fairies and elves all originated, now exists only as an echo of Bonsarel. It's truly a land more unrealistic than, say, Skyworld.
Well, I don't know. I think it's still going to take some time. This is a lot of information. I might need some personal space to just really think about what's happening. So I'm not sure if I want to call you guys a friend anymore. I feel like I just don't know anything about you anymore.
You say that, and Trina's face just falls. You don't want to be my friend anymore?
Well, really, I'm everybody's friend. So it's not that I don't want to be your friend anymore. It's just that, I've had a lot of adventures, and I have had people sort of turn on me, and I don't think that I can jump right into friendships anymore, realistically.
Oh. Okay. I guess I understand that.
Well,
Well, I
that
do
is
know.
that is her position. I still call you my friends.
She smiles at you.
I think we have a good thing going for us. And Bertie, I hope never to betray you, like people have done in your past. But yeah, I still consider you my friend for now, I guess, unless you betray me. And
Yeah,
that would be
okay.
quite
So we'll
awkward.
say this. You could be my friends for now too. I like that. I like that phrase, for now.
Okay, yeah. I guess I can agree to that.
I mean, it is your opinion. You can have one.
But wait, you really don't want to be my friend anymore? I
Who are you talking to, me or her? I am willing to.
her.
Ay, ay, ay.
But
Samoon just like turns and goes and sits down next to like on a rock.
but okay, no, I get it. I know what it's like to be betrayed. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It's fair. Tryina goes off to sit by herself, looking very sad.
And Bertie, you're left alone on the single solitary rock.
I think I made them mad. Well. Oh, okay. Well, I'll just go back over and sit next to them.
They're separated. Samoon on one rock, Tryina on another rock. Tryina standing unconsciously next to a very large redwood tree.
So I'm gonna go sit next to Samoon.
The rock is very small.
Well, I'm gonna sit on the ground. Hey, Samoon, I mean, you don't have any secrets, do you? No secret
What?
babies?
Oh, no, no, no. I have no secret babies. No, I don't think I have any secrets pertaining to me. What would you like to know?
Oh, I don't know. Nothing really. I honestly don't care a whole lot about people. I just I don't like people keeping secrets. I feel like if you're gonna live with somebody and sleep next to somebody, fight next to somebody, then you should know that you should just be able to trust them. And I try to be a trustworthy person myself, but like I said before, I have been betrayed and you know, abandoned and lost, and I don't know. I just want to make sure that you and I are okay, and it'll take me a little while to trust Tryina again, or maybe just get to know her a little better.
Yes, I can agree to in part. I think in order for our party to work together, we must have a common ground of understanding of who one another are. But at the same time, I have met many people myself too, who I think having secrets isn't necessarily all bad. I think, there are certain things that, are a bit more private to particular peoples. And, sometimes those secrets are to protect others. So I think trust is knowing that the secrets being held are not ones that are against you, as far as within the party goes. But I think you should. I encourage you rather to consider, listening to Tryina. Find her story, maybe. I mean, she hasn't really opened up. All we've seen of her is that she seems to have some mood swings, and she goes from like happy, and then like sad, and then like bitter, especially when that lady showed up and slapped her. Man, that was crazy. She has some story, but I mean, I don't know all of her story, but even though I do not know it, that doesn't mean that I haven't necessarily not developed a trust with her, because even in the midst of our circumstances, she has saved us both. When we were in the kitchen, and then she has her healing abilities and things and whatnot. So I mean, she hasn't proved herself disloyal to me or to us, I think. So I think you should credit her on the things that you have seen, but perhaps give her credit that maybe she doesn't want to share as well. But it's a learning process.
Those are some good points. I think I will think about it and talk to my life coach. Well, I don't really have a life coach, but and then I'll let you know.
Well, Bertie, I think you and I are just fine, and I am comfortable calling you a friend.
Well, thank you.
Tryina, as you sit there by yourself next to this redwood tree on a stone, what particular season might we see when we look upon you?
To shift seasons, at least display a different season, I would be probably taking on a lot of the winter, maybe frosting at the tips of my hair, going paler, almost Snow White. As I'm reflecting on what I thought was building a new relationship that is now apparently not what I want. And I'm thinking about the last person who betrayed me. And it's just bringing me down.
With Bald Top now appearing as a long candle along the coast, your sights are now directed towards the black cliffs that ride the edge of Titherna's land. The peak of the ridge reminds you of this destination that Millil gave you for Catrick's lair, and only a sturdy climb up the hills and the cliffs lay between you and its entrance. As you progress forward in single file, the lanes in the cliff become steeper and narrower. You can start to feel the wind pick up around your cloaks, looking down 50, 100, 200 feet on the cliffside. Every once in a while, a small outcropping of trees appears to grow from within the very rock of the cliffside, as they stand as nature's guardians watching over the goats, the puffins, the gulls. They move all around. To what do your eyes pay attention to, and to what do you notice as you climb this steep bank?
Every story comes to an ending, so for now we must conclude. Thank you for listening, Sojourners. Your attention will not go unrewarded, and we look forward to continuing this adventure. If you enjoyed this background music and ambiance, you should visit Tabletop Audio. Find them at www.tabletopaudio.com. And take the time to sojourn with us. For articles on playing Dungeons & Dragons, visit Sojourners Awake at www.sojournersawake.com. And as always, Sojourner, may your story continue.